My screen is visible, I guess. Yes, no? Okay, Ganesh. Okay, yesterday we were discussing, the some of the operators. So let us just do a small recap, right? So we got some understanding. Yeah, we got a complete picture about unary operator and arithmetic operator, and followed by we have got to know about assignment operator and the equality operator, right? And after that, we have discussed about logical operators. So far, so clear. And today, right, we will be completing these three operators. One is relational, ternary operator, and the short circuit operator. Right. After completing this, now the concept of operators, Java operators, is going to be over. Then we will move into typecasting. Right. So let us understand about this relational operator. It's just like a mathematical operator. When I say, so this represents the lesser than symbol, lesser than operator. So definition can be very simple. When two operands or when two operands are used, okay, instead of writing like this, I can write in this way. When the lesser than operator is used between two operands, the resultant value is always going to be a Boolean value. Boolean value, right? There are two Boolean values as far as we know, true and false, right? By using this operator, we either get true or we either get false. Apart from that, there are no possible returns. Yes or no? Right? So variable a, this is a syntax, variable a is lesser than, so variable 1 is lesser than variable 2, right? But after evaluation, the output is always going to be a Boolean value. Apart from the Boolean value, we cannot expect any other result, right? Apart from the Boolean value, is there any other result that we can expect? No. Right? So I can say that, so since the resultant value is always a Boolean, it is our duty to assign the resultant value to a Boolean variable, Boolean data type variable. Right? So this is what we call it as what, lesser than operator. So the same thing goes for the greater than. Let me do the copy paste. So this is greater than operator, right? So when the greater than operator is used between two operands, the resultant value is always going to be the Boolean value. So this is the syntax, right? And we also have lesser than equal to, lesser than or equal to. If either of the conditions satisfies, the resultant value is going to be Boolean. So here the two conditions are checked. In the previous cases, only one condition is checked. I hope this is a self-explanatory, because these are the typical mathematical concepts. Don't think we need much discussion on this. We'll do some examples on this. So when the lesser than or equal to operator is used, okay. is used between two operands, the resultant value is going to be a Boolean value. Same thing goes for greater than or equal to. Greater than or equal to. Greater than or equal to operator is used between two operands, the resultant value is always going to be Boolean value. So this is a very self-explanatory concept. I don't think we need much explanation on this. So let us do some practical workout. Let's start Java. If I have a equal to 10 and if I am taking b equal to 20, sum dot println a greater than b, a lesser than b, greater than equal to b, lesser than equal to b. Post your outputs in the chat box. So these are the very simple questions. I just want to keep this session interactive, so kindly post your answers. What is called? So these are the initial values. A has been assigned to 10 has been assigned to A, 20 has been assigned to B. So guess the outputs. I have said that the resultant value is always going to be true or false. Yeah, Ganesh. True, false, true, false. What about others? Make it quick. Keep a pen and paper next to you whenever you are attending this class. We are going to solve a lot of problems going forward. Answer it. Samita, Darshini, everyone. True, false, true. Hope you are getting this question. Right? Let me run this. So I have saved the file, and for compilation the command is very straightforward. Java C space test.java, Java space test for execution. True, false, false, true, false, true, false. Is that you got? True, false, true, false. Yes. Right. So from this, from this particular output, we can conclude that the resultant value is always going to be a Boolean value. Yes or no? Right. So I can also represent this like instead of printing the values, this concept is called printing the values or displaying the values in the console. But I can also store these values. Right. Instead of doing like this, I can also do like, right, a lesser than b. This resultant value, I can assign this resultant value to a variable. In this case, I can say equal to variable 1. Right? So what kind of value it is going to return? It is going to return either true or false. Yes or no? These are the two possible answers, true or false. Right? So this true or false is of Boolean data type. So the variable data type name must be Boolean. Right? So this concept is talking about the storage. Right? This part is talking about the display, console, displaying the value in the console. Right? I can do like this also. If I just want to store the values, do this. If you want to display, do this. Right? So I can do like this as well. Variable 1, variable 2. This is variable 3, and this is variable 4. Equal to. So to avoid duplication, each and every variable has to be identified with a unique name. So that's why variable 1, variable 2, variable 3, variable. So these lines are taking care about the storage, right? And I can do like this. Variable 1, variable 2, variable 3, variable 4. Right? Now the values are stored to a particular variable. The resultant values are stored to a particular variable, right? After storage, I just want to print those values, so I am directly accessing the stored values. So this talks about storage, and this is talking about printing the values in the console, right? If I run this, the output is going to be same, right? But if you ask me, is there any difference? So I have just changed this. I have changed the sequence. That's why we are getting different outputs. And check this out. Variable 1, 2, 3. Right? I will include this in the notes. Right. So this is talking about the storage. This is talking about the displaying the values in the console. Right. Now let us look into some more example. Storage. Displaying the values. Examples. Nobody's making sense. And now if I do this, now you tell me integer c equal to, what is output for this? Answer it to me. Come on. Think and tell me. Chaitanya, all right. What about others? So, Ganesh sir, what about others? Samyukta, Jyoti, error. Compile time error. Why compile time error? Very simple. So, this is getting evaluated to two values. Either it will be, output will be evaluated to true or false, right? This value is either true or false, but we need to represent this value into the right data type. So integer is not the right data type, yes or no? Integer is not the right data type, right? So this values needs to be stored in a data type. The specific data type which we are talking about, which is Boolean. Right? So you may get this type of questions in the written test. Not exactly like this. In the if blocks or in the else blocks, this type of questions are expected. Right? So we get, let me compile this to get the exact error. Okay. So this is the exact error that will be put in the console. So where were we? Okay. Yeah, okay. So far so good. And the next topic is about the ternary operators. So this is also a very concise operator. Instead of using if else block, we can directly go with the ternary operator. Not ternary. I will explain you about this. Pay some attention. This is little confusing, but I will ensure you that the confusions are clear. Pay some attention. So ternary. So it is going to take three operands as an input. Three operands to be evaluated, and the resultant value is always going to be true or false. I can say no, not true or false. The resultant value could be anything. I will say why it is anything. Anything. So it is going to take three operands to be evaluated, right? So we need at least three operands. Right? In our previous case, two operands are fine, right? So we have operand A, we have operand B, and we have an operator, right? So two operands are okay with all the previous operators that we have been discussing so far. right? But the ternary operator, right? When you see ternary operator, it means it is going to accept three operands. Okay, sir, what is the syntax for this ternary operator? If you ask me, the syntax is going to be very simple. There will be an expression one, right? So this expression one is just like a kind of question mark, right? Expression one is a kind of question mark, and there will be an expression two, and there will be a colon, and there will be an expression. I will tell you what is this. Right? This is the syntax. This is the syntax. Right? So let me go and go back to the paintbrush. Okay. Expression one, expression two, expression. So this expression one is always going to consider the Boolean evaluation. For example, it is just like an open close-ended question. You know, I mean, I think you know what is a close-ended question. So whenever there is a close-ended question, it means the answer can be either yes or no. Those questions are what? The close-ended questions. Open-ended question means the answer can be a paragraph or it can be a line, right? You know, but it cannot be a single line answer, single word answer. When I say close-ended questions, it means answer can be yes or no, right? Example, are you from Chennai? If you are from Chennai, yes. If you are not, no. Likewise, these are the open-ended or close-ended question. Only one word answer will be like that. So expression one, you can utilize this expression one to produce either true or false. The output could be evaluated to true or false. So try to understand this. So in place of expression one, I can replace it like this. 10 is greater than 5. So I am just substituting some values in place of expression one. If I do this, right? So when the Java is operating, or when the Java is encountering this expression, the resultant value is going to be true or false. In our case, the resultant value is going to be true. Right? Resultant value is going to be true. If the resultant value is true, expression one will get executed. If the resultant value is true, expression one will get executed, expression two will be skipped. Right? If the resultant value is false, so when do we get false? If we have an expression like this, so this is going to give false value. Yes or no? The resultant value is false. The resultant value is false. Expression sorry, this one is not 1, it is 2, not 1. The resultant value is false, expression 3 will get executed. So we will see one example for the better understanding. Okay? We will see a real-time example on this. So let us say take the same values, integer a equal to 10, integer b equal to 20, right? So I can do like this: a system dot out dot println, right? A close-ended question, a is lesser than b, question mark. If this condition is true, if a is lesser than b, print a. Else, print b. To understand this better, let me use this. out of println. I will explain you. So we get 10. So we'll trace this out and why we are getting 10. Okay. So this is our program. Okay. So we know main thread will come into the picture during the execution, and it will try to get access to what? It will try to get access to the main method. So this is the main method. All instructions inside the main method has to get executed. The first instruction is 10 is getting assigned to A. In the memory, for the value A, for the value 10, the variable is going to be A. Right? Okay, first instruction has been completed. Right? Now the control will be transferred to the second line. Print B equal to 20. B. So 20 will get assigned to the variable B. I don't think we need any explanation on this. Now the third value, to focus here, let me rewrite this. The control will be transferred to third value. Right? We have we are having three operands. Try to pay some attention here. Teacher result equal to A, B, question mark, A, B. Let me give some spaces. You can give spaces. For the better observation, I am giving the spaces. Okay. Right. So right hand side. This is the right hand side, right? So this is the expression one. Expression one is always going to return a Boolean value, right? So now A gets compared with B. In our case, the statement says A is lesser than B, right? This is what the statement is. So just replace the values of A and B here. 10 is lesser than 20, right? We are asking the question to Java. Hey Java, can you tell me if the 10 is lesser than 20? Yes or no? True or false? Right? Java says, boss, it's true. It won't say true. It will give the output as true. When the true is given as an output, right, this will be executed. This statement will get executed. So this place is reserved for true. If it is true, print the value A. Print the value that is followed by this expression. In our case, it is A. If it is false, print this value. Right? Since it is true, right, this part will not get executed. This part will be skipped. Right? So now true, A is going to get executed. What is the value of A? Value of A is what? 10. Value of A is what? 10. Yes or no? Value of A is 10. This 10 will be assigned to the variable result. This 10 value will get assigned to the variable result. So in our case, so we have another variable. The name of the variable is what? 10. Sorry, result. This result is going to have the value 10. 10. As simple as that. Right? Now the fourth line says what? What is the next line? Result. What is the value in the result? 10. That is what will get displayed in the console. Yes or no? So what we have in the console? 10. Right? In the console, 10 is going to get displayed. Right? Making sense? Say something in the chat box. Everyone. Either yes or no. If you don't understand, say it that you don't understand. Yes? Are you able to follow? Everyone, Ganesh, Adilakshmi, Samyukta, Sashwan. Okay, we will take another example. Now I am going to consider another example. See, if I am taking 20 and if I am taking 10 here, right? So can you guess the output now? Don't be in a hurry, just try to think and answer. I did a little change. Think and answer. Ganesh says 10. Samyukta says 10. False result 10. Darshini says 10. Chaitanya says 10. Okay. Let's run this. Jyoti says 10. So let us trace this year one instead of running. Right? What is the value of A? 20. 20. Hey Java, can you tell me if 20 is lesser than 10? Java says no, it is not. Right? So this condition will be evaluated and the resultant value is going to be what? False. The resultant value is false. This will get priority, right? So B. What is the value in the B? 10. Guys are correct. Let me do small change. Now, this is the last evaluation. Now, twenty. Okay, guys, you got it. Right? So we can develop a program in such a way that, right? So the resultant value will give us the minimum number, or the resultant value will give us the maximum number, depending upon the logic that we are writing it here. So depending upon the logic that we are writing it here, we can actually catch the exact result by doing a comparison between the variable A and B. To find the minimum number, I can write a logic by using this ternary operator. To find the maximum number, I can write a logic. So let us produce a logic for the minimum number. So for the maximum number, let us produce a logic. So this logic, if you see this logic, if I run this, we always get the maximum number. Yes or no? Right? I can say I am taking two inputs from the end user. Right? With this logic, it is always certain that the result is going to be the maximum number. Maximum number is. So let me run this. Maximum number is 20. Yes or no? 20. So let us do some changes here. 20, 100. Now I should get the maximum value as 100. Let us see if it is working or not. Hundred. Hope you're able to follow. Let us do this as let us take 2000 in A and let us assign 100 to the variable B. Now the maximum, the resultant should be 2000. Let us see, are we getting this or not? 2000. Working. So this is the manipulation to get the resultant value as a positive number. I mean the maximum number, right? Instead of result, I can say max for the better understanding. So instead of result, I can keep the variable as maximum, because you can keep any name, but max is the meaningful name. Yes or no? But if I do the same manipulation, or if I ever had to return a logic to find the minimum number, just I will change the the relational operator here, right? Instead of maximum, I will give it as minimum, right? minimum. So I have two inputs, right? By using these two inputs, I have prepared a program to display the maximum number, to display the minimum number. This is the logic, right? If I run this, maximum number is 2000 and the minimum number is 100. A logic is developed with a single line. So this is the importance of ternary operator. So this operator will be understood better in the future topic. We have a topic called if else block. After understanding if else block, you will get complete picture and complete idea about this ternary operator and its actual usage. Right, for now this example is going to be okay. Right, so you got an idea on this. Right, now you tell me a small equipped program. So I want you to answer. Can I do this? Can I do this? Will it compile or we will get error? Any idea? Okay, error. Chaitanya says error. What about others? Errors are pushed. Yeah, you will see this. Very simple, guys. This will get executed, but the problem is the data, I mean the variable that we are using here, right? It should be compatible with the value that this expression is returning, right? Just try to run this. 2000 is greater than 100. Okay, this condition is found to be true. If it is true, expression 1 needs to get executed. Of course, if expression 1 is going to get executed. But here we are returning a Boolean value. If we are returning a Boolean value, it means the data type should be compatible. Right? Here we are using integer data type. Instead of integer data type, we need to use Boolean data type. Now this is valid. Making sense? Right? So where is the proof, sir? See? So we are not printing that, that's why we are not getting anything. System.out.println any variable name, but this max variable name is a meaningless, but just keeping it as max. See true. So what I'm trying to say is you can keep anything here. You can keep anything here, but the value that is being returned, right? And the resultant value, the variable name can be anything, but the resultant data type should be compatible. So these are Boolean values. So it is necessary to ensure that the resultant variable name is also, data type is also Boolean. For example, it is returning, let us say that Java, Python. So these two are string data types. String means nothing, it's sequence of character, right? The resultant variable data type should also be a string. Compatible, right? When the expression 1 or expression 2 gets evaluated, it is going to it has to get stored in a particular variable. The data type of the particular variable should be compatible. Java is a string, Python is also a string. That's why string. If we have two numbers, so let us execute this. So Java. So this is meaningless. To be honest, this statement is meaningless. What I'm trying to say is, if it is true, this is getting executed. If it is false, this is getting executed. But at the same time, having said this, If any values are getting executed, the resultant data type should be compatible. So Java is a string, Python is also a string. So this should also be a string. So I'm using it as float, right? And the expression 1 and expression 2 should have a floating point value. 100.23 of 200.34. Yeah. F is mandatory for the float data type. We have discussed that already. Making sense? Yes, no, maybe. Everyone, answer me. Keep this session interactive. Shashwant, everyone. With Jyoti, Darshini. Keep okay. Ajalakshmi. Okay. So now the next data type is, let me add this in our notes. Okay. So now we will understand the short circuit operator. To understand the short circuit operator, I will bring you need to understand the difference between, see, in future if you are giving any written test for Java on top of Java programming language, you're trying to attend any interview, right? Written test is mandatory. In the written test, especially in the Java operators topic, right? So the most of the topics, if you get any questions, you can expect questions from ternary operator and the relational operator. There are high chances of getting questions from ternary, relational operator, and the topmost priority will be given to the short circuit operator. You can expect a question from this. So if you understand operators and if they want to check your caliber on Java operators, you will get questions from short circuit operators. So pay some attention, right? So before understanding this, we need to understand the difference between logical and, so when I say logical and, this is also under operator in Java, and this is also under operator in Java. You can either use a double ampersand or single ampersand, right? And when you say or logical or operator, this is also or operator in Java, and this is also or operator in Java. Both are same, but there is a minute difference that I am going to show up. Right? If I want to demonstrate this in the truth table, if I consider the truth table is also going to be same for these two set of operators. Right? So let me open my paint screen. Try to focus here. You should get this in one go. I do not want to repeat this over and over again. So this is what it is, right? Let us write a truth table. A, B, so when I say A and B, pay some attention here. When I use double ampersand symbol to represent AND operator, internally Java will do evaluation in such a way that the performance of the application is going to get increased. Having said this, when I say the performance of the application is going to get increased, right, we need a proof, right? How the performance will be increased. We will understand it. When I use this, performance will be increased. When I use this, performance will not be increased. What is the proof? That proof I am going to demonstrate now. Try to focus. Right? So truth table, true for AND is what? True itself. Right? And true, false is false. False is false. Sorry, false true is false, whatever it is, let me maintain the order. False 2 is equal to false, 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 equal to false. So this is for the AND operator, right? When I say this, now we try to focus here. Let us take this Boolean expression. See, let us take this Boolean expression. So when the first input is false, do you think that is it necessary to look into the second input too? We can conclude that whenever you are using AND operator, logical AND operator, and when the first input is false, the result, any of the resultant value is going to be false itself. Yes or no? Right? Even though if you check this condition, if you don't check this condition, right, it has no significance. Even though if you check, false itself. Even though if you don't check, right, even though if you don't check this, even though if you don't check this, the output is going to be false itself. There is not going to be any difference, right? So when you use AND operator by having two inputs, right, if the first operand is false, the second operand will not be checked. Time saving, right? But instead of this, instead of double AND, when you use the single AND, when you use single AND, A and B, right? In that case, first operand will also be checked, second operand will also be checked. So the performance will not be improved. Practical proof I will give you. This is just an understanding. When you use this, each and every condition will be checked. What do I mean by that? False first operand will also be checked, second operand will also be checked, or the first Boolean value will be checked, second Boolean value will be checked, and the output will get evaluated to false. But in this case, right, it is okay. I mean, Java is very clever. If you use this operator, Java is very clever. The first value is true, it is not necessary to check the second value, because the resultant value is going to be false only. Even though if you don't check, the output will not be varied. That kind of checking, or that kind of analogy, or that kind of approach the Java has adopted internally, right? If you let us understand this with a practical example. Now I want you to tell me, right, the output of the following program. I have A equal to 10, I have B equal to 10, right? So this is an interview question. Think that you are attending an interview and answering this. Okay, in the system.out.println, so I am going to keep a statement, right? A very brilliant statement. It has been asked many times. A plus plus equal to 10. Think and answer. A plus plus equal to 10, or I can say A plus plus not equal to 10, and A B plus plus not equal to 10. System dot out dot println value of A, system dot out dot println the value of. Think and tell me, what will be the potential output, anticipated output? Think and tell me. Calculate and tell me. got my question? Samyukta, Rajalakshmi, Chaitanya, Ganesh, Jyoti, Darshini. Who is going to be right? Who is going to be wrong? Think and tell me. I have used a single AND operator. I wanted to answer. We get three values to the console. What are the three values? We get three values in the console. There will be one value here, and one value will be here, and another value will be here. Or if you think that we are going to get compile time error, you can paste that also. If you think that you don't know the answer, you can paste that also. But I want answers from you. So make the false 10 10, make the false 11 11. Achi true 10 10, false 11 11. So many answers. Good, good, good. First one false 10 10, false 10 10. Okay, let us run this. Okay, let us see who is right. This is not for who is right, who is wrong. This is only to understand the topic. Compilation is successful. False 11 11. False 11. Darshini is right. Sashwant is right. Jyoti is close. Ganesh is wrong. Samyukta is right. Good work, Samyukta. You have given the answer so quickly than others. Big round of applause to Samyukta. Okay, let us trace this. So I have used now one observation you need to make. I have used single AND operator. Single AND I have used. Right? So it is just a proof whether my demonstration is correct or not. It's just a proof. Let us trace this program. So this is my program. Okay. Main thread. Main thread will try to get access to main method. Right. First instruction. Only the memory. In the memory, these values will be stored. Right. So 10. The value 10 is assigned to A. The same value 10 is assigned to B. Okay. These are the values that are assigned to A and B. Right. Now here comes the third line, the interesting line. The third line says, right, first let me, this evaluation needs to be done, right? Let me rewrite this for the better observation. A plus plus not equal to 10, singular. B plus plus not equal to 10, right? So this A plus plus is what? Print are ready to be printed and do the update. Value will be updated to, incremented to 11, from 10 to 11, incremented by one number, 11. Right? So 10 is not equal to, 10 is not equal to 10. Right? So let us keep this aside, and now the value B is what? 10. So print this value or keep the value to be printed, right? Then do the update in the memory, 11, right? And again the comparison is pending, equal to 10 is a Java, 10 is not equal to 10, 10 is equal to 10. If it is not equal to 10, it is going to be what? False. Okay, let's see. Right? Who said false? And one more evaluation is pending, and right, if you complete doing this evaluation, it false and false. If you see the truth table, right, so this is what we are doing it here now. is what we are doing. False and false is going to give us what? False. Output is the first value in the console is going to be what? False. Right? And the next line we are accessing A, we are accessing B followed by. So latest value of A and B are what? 11, 11. That's why false 11, 11. Making sense? Now you tell me, right? I'm going to do a small change here. Instead of using simple ampersand, I'm using double ampersand. Now you tell me the answer. Think and tell me. It's the latest one. Think and tell me this. This is the popular interview question, guys. So I have made a small change. Instead of using a single logical and operator, I have used a double logical and operator, a double ampersand symbol, right? And this needs to get evaluated somehow, right? And we need to print A and B. Do you think that we are going to get the same output, or is it going to be a different output? That's my question. So you people are saying false, 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 11, 11. Ganesh, Jyoti, Raji, Ashwan, what answers from you? False 11, 11. Samyukta, same output, Ganesh say. Samyukta, okay, don't know. It's a different answer. So Ashwan is also saying don't know. Why you guys are saying don't know? Not sure. False 11, 11. Same output. Let me do a small change here. What is output? What is output? False 11, 10 we got. Any idea why we get this? Any idea? Okay, let me explain it. Now you focus. I need your attention. So we usually think that it is going to be false 11, 11. Yes, of course it is false 11, 11, guys. Only when it is when the logical operator is being used with the single operand or single operator, right? But in this case, I am using double operator. Now let us go back to our paint screen, right? Let us go back to our table. I have said that the Java is going to consider the first operand. If the first operand is false, these things will not be checked by the Java the Java main thread. While executing this operands will be skipped. What do you mean by that? Let me copy these values and use my paint screen. So this is the proof. I am saying when the first value is found to be false, the second value will not be checked by Java when you use double ampersand symbol or when I use double logical and operator. So you are looking for the proof, right? So this is the proof, right? A typical example. If you logged out, right, please try to log in back. It will take 15 more minutes to complete this topic. Don't assume that the classes are over. Try to log in back, okay? So A, B, this is for A, this is for B, right? A, B, right? This is A, this is A, B. So same values, 10 and 10, right? So let us take this. We need to pay some attention here. I am just rewriting those instruction for the better observation. Okay. Double ampersand B plus plus not equal to, right? First, let us complete this. Let me take in the box. Right? We are using, just keep in the mind, we are using logical AND operator with 2 ampersand, right? Now let us do some evaluation here, right? What is the a plus plus? When I say a plus plus, first it is going to consider the value that print the value or the value that is about to be printed, then do the update in the memory. So in the memory it will be incremented to 11, right? So what are the next values? I equal to 10, right? Now here if you focus, double n means first it will wait until this is evaluated, right? What is the value of for this after the evaluation? 10. We're asking, hey Java, 10 not equal to 10? No, it is not. So value is going to be what? False. Right? If this value is false, right, look at the table. I was saying that if the first value is false, right, for the double and operator, for the logical operator, this second instruction will be skipped. Java will not think about this instruction. Java will skip this instruction. Java will assume that any of the value for the first instruction is false itself. There is no need to evaluate this. It will not consider this. It will skip this. It will skip this. This will be skipped. This will be skipped. Right? We have false. This false will be displayed in the console. First answer is what? Right? What is the latest value of A? 11. What is the latest value of B? The value that is already in the already stored in the variable B is what? 10. What we got? False 10, 11, 10. Yes or no? False 11, 10. So this is just a proof for this particular. My voice is clear. This is happening every time because the Teams screen space and the time allotment is very limited. That's why. Okay. I was saying, I hope you're able to get this. This part will be skipped. When this is false, of course, if this is false, obviously, this will not get evaluated. That's what I am trying to say. Making sense? Have you got this answer? Do you need any clarification? Yes, no? Hello? You got this? Jyoti Sayana says yes, Samyukta. Any clarification you need for this? Ashwan. Darshini, sure, I will show you another example, right? But we will discuss another example on top of OR operator. So same example, very simple, guys. You don't need to think much. For double and especially for the last two, and if the first condition is false, there is no necessity to check the second condition. Short circuiting means what? The value of the first condition is the actual result. So the value of the first condition is the actual result. Even though if you check true or false, it is just like, for example, see, I am giving you two set of marks. Right? I am asking you to check if the person is is passed or failed in his exam. You will ask for two values. You will ask for his mark. For our assumption, the pass mark is 35. So it is a boundary, right? So the student is giving, in one subject I got 34, which is fail, right? So we can directly write the answer as what? Fail. Do you think it is necessary for us to check the second result, second subject? Not necessary. Even though if he's securing 100 also, the result is always going to be failed because first subject is failed, right? In the both conditions. Likewise, if he says first condition, in the first condition he says for the first subject he has scored, he has secured 29 marks. Of course it is failed. It's not necessary to go and check the second second subject score. Yes or no? Right? Even though if you say if he is like even though if he has scored 16, or even if he is securing more than 1, it is failed only. Right? But in the top two cases, if he says I have scored 100 in the first subject, right? Still we haven't got any complete confirmation because it is mandatory for us to check the second subject. Yes or no? In these two cases, we are completely dependent upon the second subject to print the result, pass or fail. But in the bottom two cases, first value is enough for us to to consider the result. You got this point? Say something in the chat box. Yes or no? Hello, Samyukta, Darshini. So is this point making sense? This analogy is fine, right? Likewise, in Java, same thing is happening in Java, especially for this double ampersand operator, right? Java is very clever. If it finds the first condition as false, or is any of the result value is going to be false, why it need to check the second condition? You are wasting time. But in this case, the performance is going to get increased. But the same logic, the same kind of approach will not be applied for single and operator. Same kind of approach will not be applied for A and B. So two conditions will be checked. That's why in the previous example, right, we got the final answers as everyone got the answers in the previous example, especially Samyukta, right? So we will understand this better with the second example. Same thing will apply for OR operator. OR operator says this is the truth table for OR operator. A, B, A, single OR. When I do single OR operation, like when I use only one operator, single OR operator, and if I create a truth table like true, 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 false, true, false, true, true, false, false is going to give us what? False. In the OR operator, exactly the same logic, but in this case, right, if the first two values is true, the resultant value is going to be true always. It is not necessary to check the second condition. The first condition is true, the result is true. First condition is true, result is true. But if the first condition is false, it is necessary to check the second condition. Necessity is that we cannot find the resultant value on the basis of the first condition. It's mandatory to check the second condition. By evaluating the second condition, only, we are going to say whether it is true or false. Because the result is distinct results. One thing is producing true, second thing is producing false, right? Obviously, it is mandatory to check the second condition. But in the first two cases, the first is true, obviously result is true. This is for OR operator. Okay, sir, what is the example for the OR operator? Now you try to solve this, right? Now you do this, now you answer me. Think and answer me. Don't just answer like that. Think and answer me. I'm using single OR. See, and post your answers in the chat box. Keep the pen and paper next to you so that it will be easy for you to do the problem solving. Two Ganesh says 2 11 11. 2 11 11. Okay, good answers. 2 11. Everyone are getting the right answer. Good. Tashwant has a different answer. False 11 11. So let us do this. Let's try to do the compilation. Sorry, this was the previous one. Sometimes I don't say properly, so that's why we are putting the different outputs. Sorry. Sir, I was saving it here. This is our actual class. 2 11 11. Shall we trace? Let's do the tracing. So this is the truth table, and this is the program. 1, 2, we have A, we have B, this is for the imagination purpose, right? You don't do this in your exams. This is for the imagination. Same. Same. Okay. So our statement is the statement that we need to evaluate. A plus plus double equal to 10. We have an OR operator. A plus plus double equal to 10. So A plus plus. So print the value of A. Print the value of A and do the increment. In the memory, it is going to be 11. Right? And following which we have an equality operator double equal to 10. Right? After evaluation, we are asking the computer, hey, if 10 is double equal to 10, yes, true. We are getting true. Right? So here there is a mistake. So this is for double and, okay, not for single and. This is for double and. So this table is for double and. So double or double or. So we got true. So if you are getting true for the single or, the second statement will also needs to get evaluated. Yes or no? Right? So B plus plus. B plus plus means in the memory, I mean over here, the value of B will be ready to be printed or printed, and we are doing the increment operation, right? So in the memory, it is going to be what? The 10 gets incremented to 11, right? And again, double equal to 10. Yes, Java, can you please check 10 double equal to 10? Yes, it is. It is true, right? And place an OR operator in the middle. True or true. True or true. So answer is going to be true itself. The console true will be displayed, right? After this, the statement, next statement is accessing A, 11. The next statement is accessing B, 11. So output is obviously true 11. The problem, the observation that we need to make is when I do this, the first condition is true, this part will be skipped, right? Think this observation and try to answer this. I hope you got my question. True 11. Very straightforward, like just like the previous example. True 11. Yes, good. Jyoti, Darshini. I will explain you, don't worry. Okay, so let's do the tracing part. Copy this example. Darshini, this is for you. No, no, Shashwant. Rule 11. Why 11? Because rule 11 answer is. I will tell you, Shashwant, you listen to this, okay? Now do the observation now. So this is how the written test, the questions will be prepared for the written test, especially for the freshers. So I don't think we need this explanation. A equal to 10 for you, A equal to 10, B equal to A of 10, 10 and A and we have B. So this part is completed for this particular memory allocation for this we have done this, and we need to observe, do the observation on this. A plus plus double equal to 10. So to understand this, here I am using an OR operator, double OR operator, B plus plus double equal to 10. Right? First, this needs to get evaluated. A plus plus means 10 will be printed, or 10 will be ready to be printed. Then will be ready to print and perform the increment in the memory. It is going to be 11, right? The next equal to 10. Right? Now after doing this evaluation, the resultant value is going to be what? True itself. Yes or no? True itself. So true is followed by a logical OR operator, which is like this, double OR, logical OR. Then this is the condition. If the first condition is true, system will not evaluate the second condition. That's what the truth table says. If you see the truth table for this OR operator, right? If the first condition is true, second condition will be skipped. No need to check this true or second condition, right? That's why the right hand side part will be skipped by the Java. This part will be skipped. It will not get evaluated by Java. So we have true. True will be displayed in the console, right? What is the latest value of A? 11. 11 will be displayed. What is the latest value of B? 10. 10 will be displayed. That's why the output is going to be true, 10 and 11. True, 10, 11. Making sense, Darshini? Darshini, Shashwan, right? Only two conditions you need to take care. Only two things you need to remember, right? If you use double ampersand or if you use double AND operator, and if the first condition is false, it is not really necessary to check the second condition. Example, pass fail example, right? Likewise, for OR operator, if the first condition is true, that is it. This is the OR operator. The first condition is true, there is no need to look into the second condition. The resultant value is going to be true itself. That's why this part is going to get skipped. But if you are considering, or if you are trying to prepare a program by using only one, a single R bar, two conditions will be checked. So this analogy or this explanation is applied only for the and or operator when you use symbols like double and double logical and double logical or. Only for this. So we call this operators as short circuit operator. Short circuit operator. In future, in the interview room, if anyone is asking you the short circuit operator, what is a short circuit operator, and what is the difference between this and as well as this and single and double and single or and double or. You can ask. The answer is very straightforward. If you use this, performance will be improved. If you use this, performance will be reduced. As simple as. To increase the performance, you can go with this operator. If you don't care about the performance, you can use this. And when you use this, it is also called as logical and or the short circuit operators. When you use this, it is also called as logical or the short circuit operators. I will draft everything in the theory, like I will prepare the complete theory and I will draft and I will post it in the YouTube. You can get the notes in the description. So, is there any questions that you have that you want to be discussed, or is it clear? The topic is clear. So, by this, the concept of operators is over. Any questions for me?